Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I am fine, and hopefully you will all be good enough. I pray for good health and your achievements in the life. Today here we have to learn about total quality management in higher education in perspective of its all available criterions. So as you know, total quality management in higher education institutions is to adopting quality measures to improve the quality of education. Higher education institutions are the degree awarding institutions, universities, or other degree awarding institutions. Also, other than this, colleges are after intermediate, all of the programs being offered are also counted in higher education. Rather, it is commerce, it's teacher education, medical, engineering, agriculture, whatever. Total quality management is a framework for the improvement of quality because quality matters. Any of the institution, any of the organization uh, can have some achievements on the basis of its performance, and performances might be of good enough quality or poor quality. So when it gone through different processes, it is inspected, it is controlled, its quality is managed, and finally in terms of leadership and VN is incorporated in it, then it becomes the total quality management. And we have gone through the history of this total quality management starting from 1900 to 1990. There were different steps within that over the decades covered this process, and finally it was inducted in system of education. It involves doing things right first time and every time. Uh, it can't bear do the things of poor quality, of poor nature the first time, and then go for correctiveness, because herein resources are wasted, time is wasted, and financially impact is there. So that is not according to the need of quality. Therefore, it needs doing things right first time and every time. For its successful implementation, there is a strong need of everyone's participation from the institution rather than the only improvement of only senior management. So everyone in the organization, apart from the position, regardless of the position, whatever he has, they have to participate, they have to play their own role up to their excellence, because they are involved in different formations, different capacity. So, strong need of everyone's participation from the institution rather than the only involvement of the only senior management. It's not the responsibility of only the senior management. We are equally responsible. The lower management, the second line management, the workers, the officials are equally uh, responsible for it. The concept of quality of higher education. In higher education, when uh, quality is discussed, then the several components are taken into consideration, parallel the ways related to the industry, like quality as excellence, quality as zero errors, quality as fitness for purpose, quality as transformation, threshold, value for money, quality as enhancement or improvement. As far as the excellence is concerned, putting in practice the best capacity vested in human being, vested in the workers of the organization, from lower staff to the senior management. All the people have to put their efforts to achieve the set goals in right time, in a right way. Zero errors, without any negligence, without uh, any opportunity of errors. Fitness for purposes. Ultimately, the goals, purposes, or motives are identified earlier. So, to meet those targets, so the relevancy of the efforts and relevant input should be kept. And the transformation, it's very necessary because in the organizations, the process and progress have to be kept on in its pace, whereas the workers, the managers have to replace one another. So, as far as transformation is concerned in system of education, it's very necessary to put forward the juniors with the seniors. Juniors have to attach with their seniors as a training officers and trainee workers. They learn there, and with the passage of time, they are able to lead, to manage, to serve as managers. For example, in the system of education at the level of department, the junior lecturers are required to be attached with the senior professors. They learn the system, they learn, observe the techniques, and with some time they are mature. As far as specifically in the case of research, it's very necessary to be attached with the experts one. So experts have impact on the working style and capacity of the juniors, and also go for threshold. And financial impact has its own value there. So it's very necessary to keep in mind the quality of value for money. It not be um, too minimized or extended that it becomes useless. It should be up to mark and relevance and appropriate budgeting for certain project, for certain um, activity, and more enhancement or improvement. No doubt, production is the dire need of every organization, institution, or the department. But uh, quality in this matter should be taken into consideration. Uh, Starting for new programs, introducing new departments, so and so. It definitely enhances the capacity of the institution and put apparent improvement into picture. But by doing all this, while doing all this, it should be taken into consideration that rather they have the capable faculty, the infrastructure, the relevant budget, or the support staff for those. If all these things are met, then it can be executed. It will have positive impact on the client as well as on the organization and the society, because end users are clients, the customers in the system of education are students, society, and parents. So, by all means, all of the things are uh, executed for their betterment, for their excellence, for their emergence in the society, and they have to credit in the organization. Most of the time, quality is has been discussed in the terms of business, in the terms of industry or farms, and now it has been taken uh, place in the system of education. So let's discuss what is the difference between education and business. The institution is not a factory. All of the stakeholders should keep in mind always that institution is not a factory. So the students are not a product, and the education of the student is the project. Students are not product, but whereas their education is product. So successful completion of the product requires the student to participate as a worker, co-managing the learning process. So the maximum involvement of the students towards learning and in-depth involvement with all of the vested capacities in the teacher in the teaching, the process uh, might be uh, up to much extent with excellence. So this excellence of the teaching learning process move forward towards the quality. But institutions are the places for execution of this process of teaching and learning, whereas their products is about learning or education status of the students. Up to what extent it is measured there, up to what extent they are the learned people, they have a currency of knowledge, they have latest version of knowledge, they have learned latest techniques prevailing across the globe, up to what extent they are compatible to the uh, other students around the globe. So that is like the product of the education institutions. So in business or in industry, different types of the things are kept in mind towards the items, their quality, their smoothness, their price, their uh, latest technology, role of technology towards there. But in system of education, the things needs to be look after all the time are curriculum design and review and updation, adoption of a standard curriculum, periodic review. It is done. Is it done? It should be uh, uh, have deep view on it. Rather standard curriculum is is up to mark and is of a good standard, and a periodic review is done. Is it updated? Utilization of the syllabus. I should quote an example regarding curriculum over here in the universe at the university level. Uh, Mostly after every 3 years, there is a review committee have to review all of the course outlines and the schemes of studies. They go through for different processes to review the topics and the contents taken in herein. They have to update it up to mark and matchable with the international standards. Similarly, you see within the textbook boards, there is also a curriculum review committee, and it is reviewed and updated up to the latest needs of the society and the market. Overall, we know in the system of education, there are periodical review processes have been taken place in the system of education in Pakistan. You know, up to now, uh, 3 times overall, Pakistan, the curriculum has been reviewed, but only it's not being done in a day. It's an ongoing process. There are specialists, subject specialists, and curriculum subject specialists. They are on their way always and working continuously and putting their efforts towards uh, its renewal and updation. So, utilization of the syllabus. Uh, it's very necessary. It's very necessary to keep in mind rather the prevailing syllabus is being utilized or is able to be utilized, or it is only for reporting knowledge in teaching and teaching learning processes closed. So there is no need in the market. For example, uh, at the time of invention of Pakistan, there was a point of view to mm, have its constitution and system, the Islamic system. Accordingly, the different schools of thoughts started different Islamized programs because there was Qazi were needed in the justice and judiciary department who have to run the system of management in Pakistan. But unfortunately, there is no Islamic system. So uh, the Qazi ul Qazat system was not implemented. So the syllabus at that time made for like 4 year programs in different madaris. Uh, that uh, is silent. Just people have to go for those 4 years and learn about what its implication and application in the market in the system of Pakistan is not no more needed. So that should be replaced by some modern technology, some modern ideology, and some modern content. It might be replaced. Actually, I was asked, and employability, direct and indirect. Ultimately, the syllabus or the content or schemes of study should be relevant to the purpose or whatever the purpose is to frame those syllabus, it should be relevant to meet that purpose. Ultimately, it should provide the opportunity of the employment in the market. Overall development of the students, no doubt. Uh, any type of the syllabus or schemes of studies or the content that is delivered towards the students for their learning, it should have an impact on the development of the students overall. It should improve their personality, their knowledge, and their citizenship. So the curriculum design and updation should be done, and its review should be done on the basis of following key points. Reforms, as well as the reforms are concerned in the higher education institutions or education system, the admission policy. It has been done after the advent of higher education commission. Earlier was admission system was on the basis of divisions, first division, second division, third division, and it is reviewed and reframed on the basis of the percentage of the marks, because in semester system it is needed the percentage and CGPA and GPA, whereas in the previous that was annual system, there was first division, second division, third division, and blah blah blah. Uniform academic calendar. Before 2002 or before Higher Education Commission, the academic calendars were varied. It were different universities have the different academic calendar. You know, now across the world in the semester system, fall or spring starts at the same time almost. And if there is need of or the different universities have summer semester in their act, they implement during the summer holidays, and it is same across the world. Exam reforms. Similarly, different types of reforms have been incorporated in examination system. The division of marks, the assessment system has been divided into two major components: formal and informal, then um, summative and formative assessment. And it is further subdivided into different components as the formative is comprised of formative assessment is comprised of different types of quizzes, assignments, presentations, midterm written exam, that is further subdivided into subjective, objective, MCQs, and finally different some projects are also incorporated over here, and finally summative assessment, and the students have to pass it not subjectively but objectively. Overall uh, marks or percentage or GPA or CGPA is required to be uh, placed in the next semester or next grade. Choice-based credit system. This is also incorporated in the system. Apart from the core credits or cohort program courses. It is on the choice of the students. They can choose the relevant or needed courses on the basis of credit hours, enhancing learning opportunities, ability to match students' scholastic needs and aspiration, inter-institution transferability of students, part completion of an academic program by a student in two instead of extended time, so and so. It has played a vital role towards the students' facilitation. They can choose the courses of their interest or need, and it is on the basis of this credit system. Students can uh, change their programs, and their credit hours are also shifted from one program to the other, from one university to other university, from uh, at country level as well as at international level. Program options. As earlier I discussed that there is flexibility for the students to opt different programs. As earlier it was very necessary, the students only go for the programs on the basis of the major they have studies. But now it is up to some extent flexibility. They can choose the program other than the majors they taken in the previous degree or certificate. And also there are entry and exit points. Its latest and current example is BS programs, as the Higher Education Commission of Pakistan have advised the universities to give the provision to the students to exit or entry point. For example, after inter, students are enrolled in BS programs. After 4 semesters, they can exit, and they have an associate degree in that relevant uh, program. Whereas at the same time, in fifth semester, they can they have opportunity to enter in that very much program. Similarly, credits, grades are transferable from one program to other program. For example, if a student has registered in BS English, and if he wanted to transfer in change his program, so the cohort programs are the core courses he have studied. His credit hours can grades can be transferred from this program to the next one. Only those who which he have studied over here. Value orientation, definitely. Uh, there are the systems about the orientations, and the people do have deep understanding about it. Self-learning, as in the systems and the different programs, students have opportunity, and they are facilitated towards self-learning. It also provides them the soft skills, uh, wherein communication is the best skill. That is speaking, that is writing, that is use of IT, and convey or hear from the teachers, from the others across the world, responding to the students' needs. So program options must also be according to the students' needs. Flexibility, program delivery. It includes the time, first of all, time for starting and finishing a course, assessment and pace up, study. That is flexible. Content, topics, choices related to sequence and learning sources, entry requirements, recognition of prior knowledge, experience, and qualification, pedagogy, pedagogical approach, social interaction, language and resource generation, delivery logistics, time and place for interactions, technology supporting collaboration, learner support mechanisms, and communication channels. So all these five components, time, content, entry requirements, pedagogy, delivery logistics, are up to much extent flexible towards the program delivery. Responding to the students' needs, provide time relevant targeted information, be inclusive of all student groups, address special needs of particular groups, include teaching staff at a personal level, develop required computation and e-learning skills, recognizes existing skills and experiences, recognizes different entry points and routes into higher education. At in higher education system, the responding to students' needs rather towards their learning skills, their entry needs, their exit needs, their transformation and inclusiveness of the different groups, and to address their special needs, and also it include towards the teaching staff at a personal level, individual focus, individual mentoring from the teachers to the students, and also the computing skills are e-learning skills. All type of these facilities are available or should be provided to the students to respond their needs. That is necessary. That is necessary in the system of higher education. At higher education, quality only be maintained if these facilities are available for the students. Employability and recruiters, they do not expect or wish higher education to be primarily focused upon employability, but they do expect graduates to be capable of articulating and applying the benefits of their learning experiences. So the ultimate motive of degree is definitely the graduate should be capable to applying the benefits of their learning and experiences for the betterment of the society, for upgradation of the systems of different organizations where it is needed. They consider both formal and more informal learning experiences, especially where the latter provide crucial evidence of the development of soft skills. You know, there are 12 skills known as the soft skills, such as teamwork, negotiation, handling people, effective communication, and client or customer orientation, and so forth. So, if the following things are existing in the system of higher education, and they are providing the students this facility and equipping them with all these, then it might be said that there is a sort of quality. Here we should like to discuss the United Kingdom policy. I must say the system of higher education, specifically in uh, India, is very closer to the UK. So this presentation, as in the introductory slide, we can see that is made by the professor of Mysore University from India. So they have compared their own with this, and I took this for you in Pakistan because more or less we are compatible. We are working uh, alike around. Or it is an international level, UK, India, Pakistan. So these might be not the alien slides for you. So we have we can learn from this. Education and skills is one of the key fronts on which the battle to maintain competitiveness will be fought. Postgraduates are major drivers of innovation and growth and will be an essential part of ensuring we have the capacity to compete. At the level of post graduation, all type of research is initiated, and they do have different grants, and they do have a variety of labs and fields to conduct research. Finally, these research have to play vital role towards the development of economy, development of the system, development of the people, and growth of the institutions as well. So, professional development and employability are increasingly important consideration for potential postgraduates. So, at the level of post graduation, their development and employability is important because of the people leaving the system after post graduation or graduation are should not be unemployable. They can uh, they should be able to create employability. They are made capable of to establish their entrepreneur. They are entrepreneur. Their personal entrepreneurship. So where there is the entrepreneurship, there is the capacity to induct people towards reduction of unemployability. Academic norms and regulations. Calendar, academic, national holidays, working days in organization, department, attendance of student and staff, contact hours mean working hours, within the working hours and outside class hours. What about on holidays? Guidance and counseling, changing norms, dynamism. So these are the academic norms and regulations that plays uh, key role towards the maintenance of quality in higher education. If these things are not incorporated in the system of education at higher level, the quality is not good. It decreases. Teaching process, teacher recruitment process. First of all, how the teacher have to be inducted. So there should be some standards as established by the Higher Education Commission Pakistan that in higher education specifically in universities the teacher only we recruited who have at least Master of Philosophy in the relevant field. Teacher quality, their profile, and profile is taken into consideration at the level of senior faculty, for example, associate or professor level. Teaching plan, calendar, teaching methods, and teaching aids. All these things are part and parcel of teaching process. So these all play a vital role towards quality, maintenance, and management. Learning. Students' admission, students' profile, creativity, critical thinking, learning methods, learning strategies, remedial and special coaching, bridge courses, skill orientation, knowledge orientation, and career orientation. So, for all these things, I think so at your university, that is the University of Education, all these things are incorporated there, and opportunities are there for the students to learn about all these things. We do have a career counseling or students counseling center. For knowledge orientation, there is different forums conducting seminars and organizations. For skill orientation, there are different platforms working for conduction of different workshops, bridge courses. The availability is there within the uh, student time, spend time in the organization, whatever the maximum period. In at, during those hours, he or she can have the bridge courses. Also, remedial and special coaching. It should also be available. Opportunity of this should be available. Learning methods and learning strategies no doubt plays a role towards the better learning of the student from the side of teachers. Evaluation system is basically an evaluation system that is internal and external. Uh, as far as the public sector universities or the private sector universities are concerned, they have totally internal systems, whereas external is the type of you say comprehensive examination. So comprehensive examination is for higher classes, postgraduates, and for affiliated colleges, there is internal portion. Proportionate marks are there for the internal assessment and external as well. Transparency. It's very core component. Transparency should be kept. Otherwise, results or evaluations can be affected by different influences. It should be influence free. Security, examiners, scheduling, declaration of results, malpractices, and lapses. So, security towards the uh, evaluation system, free of some biasness, and examiners should be uh, because the teachers are the examiners, they should make sure of the evaluation up to mark and schedule it uh, periodically and provide the feedback or the results due in time and labs and malpractices free. It should be malpractices and labs free. Research. The, another component that is very necessary component towards the higher education system, quality in higher education is research. For this purpose, a research culture should be established there. It's very necessary. For this culture, there should be different types of facilities like provision of resources, provision of library, access towards the databases, free of cost, downloading, accessibility, uh, labs, uh, equipments, and research grants as well. All these things, and then finally, facility to disseminate the conducted research and to share with the public. This is all about the research culture. Research background of faculties. Ultimately, the teachers, the faculties do have some deep background of research, research promotion strategies, research publications, that is quality, type. For example, in Pakistan, according to Higher Education Commission, Pakistan, there are different types and ranking like WXYZ and then QS ranking, and there is also international ranking, incentives, prizes, that might be some appreciation letter, that might be a different type of recognition or awards, or might be some financial support, funding agencies, faculty mobility for conduction of research, that is faculty exchange program, autonomy to the researchers to conduct their research towards their schedule and need, work culture, workload. So the researchers have to uh, be assigned different workload as compared to the people who are not conducting research. And then in higher education system, in the universities, the consultancy is also prevailing. Background of faculties to offer free, chargeable in engineering and medical, in social sciences. There are consultants who provide consultancy to the in the field of, in the relevant field. People access them. Mm, there are different types of the consultancy that might be free of charge, that are chargeable because they have to spend time. So there is some cost. There should be some cost of their time. Locational advantages and disadvantages. Constraints, problems, prospectus and opportunities, collaborations and linkages. Locational advantages, as far as the location of consultancy is concerned, the people working in the major hub at the major places have major opportunities and different issues as compared to the people at constraint and remote areas. They have different constraints and problems towards provision of consultancy. Uh, Collaborations and linkages, these might be within the faculty, within the universities, across the globe. There are prevailing examples. People are working globally. Mm, Dozens of people are working on the same project, and they are contributing at their level. Extension, purpose and scope, target group, participants, methodology, resource and avenues, need analysis, and then awards. Extension in the system, the practices, the scope. So to meet the needs of the extension, the following things are necessary at higher education level to extend their programs, their quality, their research, their consultancy, their opportunities, their feasibilities, their requirements. Student support, different mechanisms are needed to be established in the higher education system, the universities, to support the system. Student, for example, students' welfare, students' mentoring towards their learning, towards their capabilities, towards their uh, personality, or for their welfare. That might be academic, that might be in the form of research, their counseling, their financial support, and co-curricular and extracurricular activities. Definitely, these are the part and parcel of the system of education. It helps to unfold the hidden capabilities and the capacities of the students. Placement service, yes, mm, databases should be there. The collaboration of the companies and the departments should be there, or the graduates might be placed towards their services. On-campus interviews or selections, anti-rigging, smoke-free campuses, that is towards the keep environment friendly, yeah, or environment friendly campuses, smoke-free campuses should be there. Anti-sexual harassment, it's again necessary to be established different committees, and I think so most of the universities, all of the universities and the departments have established the committees for anti-sexual harassments. Self-confidence for girls specifically, they should be provided the environment to develop their confidence, scholarships and stipends. These all are the self-explanatory uh, components that should be provided to the students at their campuses. Student performances, academic projects, field works. The research projects should be there, and their academic performances, cultural sports, national cadet corps, or science sports, their social services and volunteering, organizing abilities. This is all about student performance. Other than academic performances, many of the events and activities are there to be arranged by the students. Students' learning outcome and progression. Dropouts, efforts, track records, and alumni. Learning outcome and progression, to keep in the record of the students' learning outcomes and their progress. It should be, the record should be maintained about their dropouts, how much of the students have left the programs, and what efforts they have made towards make them, the feasibility for them. After going through the keeping reasons, going through to dig out the reasons for their dropouts, the different efforts can be made to retain them, and have to make the track records about all of the ongoing activities and prevailing opportunities from where the students have taken participated and taken benefits. And alumni. Alumni is uh, for a fruitful platform for all of the organizations or the universities or colleges. The people, alumni, play a very important role towards the development of their institutions, their infrastructure, to facilitate them wherever they are working. They can put their efforts and their influence towards the uh, toward to support their institutions, their parent institutions. Students' participation. representation in different bodies. There are multi uh, types of bodies in the institutions, like societies, games. Apart from that, co-curricular activities, the bodies constituted in the university act. There are the representation of the students. For example, in mm, different councils like a disciplinary council, disciplinary committee, sports, culture, cultural events, and decision-making bodies. So there is role of the students, and their participation must be kept in mind. And ultimately, from their presence, because they are the representative of the students, so they can provide better feedback towards the needs of the students and requirements. Physical facilities, that is all about the infrastructure like classroom, staff room, space, labs, kit for demonstration, furniture and fixes, equipments, computers, department classes, labs, sports facilities, indoor outdoor seminar halls and auditoriums, so and so. So these all provide the students, teachers, and that system uh, the platform to perform better. For the better performance of any of the university college, these physical facilities are very necessary. Library, collection and service. Different, different type of collections, academics and other than academics, literature, and their services to provide the access towards different journals, prints, and ebooks and online facilities and other facilities like reading room, stock, their conference room, their seminar rooms, discussion rooms, so back volumes, their timing, orientation, academic involvement, and purchase of books and patents and the books of the time, latest, their linkages with the curriculum, the relevant, all these things are necessary towards the library, and library is also major component of total quality management of any of the university or college. During the ongoing era of higher education, without instructional technology, IT infrastructure, the system of higher education is incomplete. Or, so, for the things included in this infrastructure is the computers, their type, their format, their specifications, head counts, availability of internet, Wi-Fi, networking, like PERN or other resources, service provider and quality of service, smart classrooms, multimedia facilities, recorded resources, mobile usage, and websites. All these are about so much so this era of online classrooms or Google classes is totally based on the IT infrastructure. Vision and leadership. This component is about the governance of the higher education system of higher education. So the leaders ultimately have some vision, and followers are there to execute that. So perspective plan, and then decentralization. As earlier in the previous class, I discussed about the establishment of departments and chairmen and coordinators, head of department here in our university. So that is an example of decentralization. So without the better model of governance in education, higher education specifically cannot uh, be managed. So these are the major roles have to play the leader. Where decentralization and monitoring and review, it's very necessary for the leaders to monitor the processes and review where the deficiencies are that can be removed. Feedback analysis actions initiated. So whatever the actions are incorporated about those are analyzed, and reasonable feedback is needed, is taken to redress the grievances, grievance redressal mechanism, grievances regarding students, faculty, employees, or governance, or towards the projects, or any of the initiates have been taken. And then there is the quality policy. In 2005, Higher Education Commission Pakistan advised the universities to establish quality enhancement cell that take care of the quality policy under the leadership of the vice chancellor of the universities. And there are the different action plans, student satisfaction survey. Uh, it is different from teacher evaluation process. Incorporated in the universities. Teacher student survey is about is the survey about to what extent students are satisfied about the quality, governance, resources provision, academic facilities, and uh, campus liberty and mobility. So their satisfaction about all this have been is needed to be taken. That also guides the leaders towards to make necessary amendments in their action. Maintenance. Maintenance budget. How much for too much requirements? बहुत सारा काम है, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, उनके लिए कितना बजट मेंटेनेंस के लिए रखा हुआ? Power backup, sanitation, cleaning, security, support staff, assistants, methodology, supervision. So all these sort of activities and this mechanism needs budget. They need mechanism maintenance. Faculty improvement strategies. Adherence to government norms. Definitely, whatever the strategies of faculty improvement, empowerment has been devised by the authorities or the government. So these should be according to the norms, those norms. Performance appraisal, that is the PER, or it's very necessary to carry it out after the year to know about the pace of performance of the teachers, competency enhancement, proper performance, budgeting, gender audit. Uh, that is about to know about the mm, relevancy and balance, welfare measurement, professional development. So the opportunities and performance and provisions up to what extent are available towards the both of the genders. So to avoid the disbalance in the gender audit is uh, carried out. Financial management. It includes the budget estimation for the forthcoming year and internal audits that the local officials uh, do it for identifying different uh, things to run the smooth problems and avoid from many untoward issues. And then is the teams that known as the external audit. Resource mobilization. The available resource up to a short extent has been mobilized towards their utilization or lapsed. I think the audit teams look after also this fixed assets and deposits and endowments. Endowments are the charities or grants start from different from government and different organizations, and the assets in the sort of uh, disposable or movable or immovable properties and deposits means reserves. So this is also carried out in the organization. So the extent up to what these are uh, run better, the financial management will be better and it will provide the quality. Uh, internal quality assurance cell. As I earlier discussed that all of the universities have been advised to establish QEC, quality enhancement cell. These are the internal quality assurance cell. Also, different committees are framed to look after that. For example, in this online Google service, Google Classroom procedures, there is quality control committee that uh, all of the teachers delivering lectures on Google Classroom, their lectures go through for review from quality control committee, and after their approval, they are given go through our stopped or asked for some amendments were there. Lead audit internal quality management system like international standards and external audit and SOC analysis, planning and implementation. So these all four components are the indicators for internal quality assurance, are the activities to be done by the internal quality assurance cell. Teachers' perception towards total quality management. So the what teachers perceive towards the quality management, that is the attitudes and motivation. Up to what extent the attitudes of the teachers have been upgraded, and what are as far as the perceptions of teachers are concerned towards total quality management, they perceive that attitudes and motivations are concerned towards the quality. Pressure by management, productivity focus, and diversification of faculty work culture. These things are taken into consideration towards total quality management. If these are well managed and up to mark and are focused, total quality management will be better. Special causes of quality failure. You know, the things on which quality of any of the institution becomes poor or is failure, those cause roots are stated here. Special causes of failure, on the other hand, often arises from procedures and rules not being followed or adhered to, although they may also be attributable to communications failure or simply to misunderstanding. It's very true. Most of the time, things are not going adverse or bad, but misunderstanding and miscommunication or communication failures are systems of coding and decoding uh, are there to attribute the things that quality is failure. They may also be the result of an individual member of staff not possessing the necessary skills and knowledge and attitudes required to be a teacher or an educational manager. Definitely, uh, all of the people are not of that much nature that are inefficient and not playing their role towards the achievement of the institution or the department. For example, in my own department, as a controller of examinations, I might have observed that uh, there are 8, 10 branches have to collaborative work towards the completion of assigned tasks. The different people have to play a different role and different assignment. So a single assignment as issuance of some roll number slip. There is a technical work on to do on the UMS. The official working there showed laxity, due to which in time issuance of roll number slips was not made. That put all of the whole of the department of examination conduction into poor quality. So people were asking about that about this shortcoming. The special causes of quality problems could include lack of knowledge and skill on the part of particular members of the staff, lack of motivation, communication failure, or problems with the particular pieces of equipment. So the things, the matters, the motivation, communications, or the equipments, or the failure of the pieces of the equipment might uh, have some uh, lower efficiency, poor efficiency that plays that leads towards the quality failure. Establishing the cause of quality failure and rectifying it is a key task of head of the departments. So zero defects is a concept which is hard to apply to services than to manufacturing. So zero defects planning, error, cause removal, a passion for excellence. Everyone should be trained for quality, multifunction team, quality circles. See that everyone is involved. So these are the remedies towards to address the special causes of quality failure. It starts from plan, zero defect plan, then error cause removal, competency, a passion of excellence, and everyone should train for quality or multifunction teams like quality circle. Final words in this regard, I would like to say that when quality goes up, costs may also goes up. So quality improvement is never ending journey to improve quality. Costs should be kept into control. If if costs are not kept in control, the quality will be under question. Thank you and Allah Hafiz. Waiting for your questions, for queries.